Hi guys, sorry about the lighting. Had a bit of a poor day today. I was trying this Mitsubishi Pajero, which I modified quite a long time ago for hobby grade. There's a big metal gear servo in there to do the steering. Got the original motor in there, and I got one of those little 20A ESCs to run the motor with. I was running it on a 2S LiPo today, and it just didn't seem to have any power. It really struggled. I seem to remember I had that problem before when I originally did the modification. So the plan is I'm going to chop out the battery area in there, because that's still set up for 6 AA batteries. I actually had the LiPo battery mounted on this side, but I'm going to chop that out so I can actually get this little 3S LiPo in there. So I can get it in there and put the cover back on. So that'll give us 3S power instead of 2S, and we'll see if that works. So I'll just chop that out. And then this fella, quad bike with Action Man on it. It's originally a Toys R Us quad bike. That had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 AA batteries in it, and that's underpowered. So I'm going to do something similar. I'm going to chop that out and see if I can get that 2S LiPo in there. It's just a bit too proud at the moment, so I'm going to have to see if I can chop the bottom of the battery box out without causing too much trouble inside. I can't remember where everything is. I think that ESC is pushed up to this end somewhere, and I know the receiver is actually up in the motor there, because that was where I could find space for it. So it's actually tucked inside there, but I've got to try and get it apart again. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll put you on the tripod and you can look over my shoulder while I'm working. So I say, lighting's not going to be too good for you, I'm afraid. Got to try and get this apart. It's one of these things that's held together with a few screws and a few plastic clips. So you've got to get the screws out, and then you've got to release the plastic clips. Or at least I think that's how it works. The other thing we might have a problem with is I've hot glued this camera bracket on the front there, and I think we need to get this bit off. We'll find out. Oh, it screws in the top as well. Oh, that's annoying. I really don't want to have to take him all apart. Get in there and do that. making progress. As I say, this thing's in the way now. The rest of it, there we go. Well, that's a bit easier. Well, might as well get this off if we can. Right, well that's much easier now. So, do we really need to undo all this? Looks like we do. Right, okay. I think I'm going to have to take the steering apart just to get the top of this off. It's that hot glue that's holding it together now. Right, there we are. It shouldn't be too hard to actually replace that steering. Whether we can get a, oh, I don't know, there's not a lot of space to get a good size servo in there. Right, I need to do a bit of desoldering. But I want to cut, I want to cut the bottom of this out so we can get the battery in there a bit further. And at the same time we'll be able to resolder that. Solder that. I'll get my cutting board. I've just scored across there with a sharp knife. I should now be able to break through there. Oh, sorry. The idea is that should be able to come up just that little bit further now. That will sit right inside. And the cover can go on. Like that. Right, need to go and get my soldering iron. Right, so we've got a female connector on there now that goes to the on-off switch and on into the ESC. So that should now be able to go on there. Yeah, that sounds like we got power. Okay, now all we've got to do is put it back together. Well, that's all a bit frustrating. I've got it all back together, but the steering's playing up. It's got a clutch on it, on the steering, so that it doesn't jam up when you go full lock, but that clutch seems to be slipping too easily now. Now, to try and fix it, I took it's still got the auto centering in it that the toy grade have. I took that out and that actually made it worse. It stopped the clicking, but it would just lock or stick at full right or full left. So I've taken it all apart, adjusted it, put the self-centering or the auto self-center back in again, and it looks like that spring is too strong, and that's making the clutch move spin, and that's probably because I'm putting more power through the motor than it used to have. I mean, that's hopeless really, isn't that? That's rather annoying because it's now 2:30 in the morning and I've spent, well, a couple of hours working on it. What it really needs is the old toy grade steering taken out and a proper servo put in there, so we've got proper control. So that's the self-centering peg taken out. Problem now is it doesn't center. So it really does need that in there to make it center. But I expect just for running it around I could probably leave that out, because as long as I'm doing circles it's alright. It's when you want to go in a straight line that'll be a problem. It's too dark to actually film this very well. Yeah, I think I'll leave it like that just so we can get some video out of him, and then we'll have to do a proper hobby grade conversion to the steering. Thanks for watching. You'll find more information down in the video description. You might like to watch that video up there, and you might like to subscribe over there.